So CPU scheduling in the sense how the processes are getting executed in the CPU. In what order we are allowing the process to get executed in the CPU, that is called CPU scheduling. So here we have some terminologies like IO burst and CPU burst. CPU burst in the sense at what time that means the time needed by the process to be executed in the CPU. That means the CPU operations, arithmetic operations, or the job. IO burst in the sense the time needed for the process to complete its IO operation. That is called IO burst. And before getting into the problem, we have to know some basic terminologies like multi-programming. When we have more than one number of processes, there we have to go for scheduling. So here we can go with more number of jobs, that is process. Uh, i- i- and the user will be there. We will be having, generally we are having two types of scheduling, preemptive and non-preemptive. Preemptive in the sense an interrupt can be occurred when the current process is running inside the CPU and that can be replaced by the another process. That is called preemptive scheduling. Whereas non-preemptive in the sense when the process is getting inside the CPU, it should complete its execution and then it can leave from the place. That is the CPU. So here we have some basic terminologies for evaluating the performance, arrival time, burst time, waiting time, turnaround time, response time, and execution time. Arrival time in the sense at what time the process is arrived at the ready queue. The process which is ready to get executed, those and all will be stand in a ready queue. Then coming to the burst time, that is the time needed by the process to complete the allocated for the process to how many seconds that process need to complete the execution. That is called burst time. That is the amount of time the process need to execute, and that means amount of time the process should be in a CPU. Then coming to the waiting time, that means the process when the process, how long the process is getting waited to get inside the CPU. That is called waiting time. Turnaround time, now the total time needed to complete the process. When the process arrives in the system and then how long it will take and to complete the process. That means here we have the formula for calculating the turnaround time. That means burst time plus waiting time. And a response time in the sense the amount of time that elapses from the time the process summons the request to the time it receives the response. That means the very first response, the very first time when the process is getting the response from the CPU, that is called response time. Execution time, now the total time needed for the process to complete the execution, the overall execution. So here we have, as I said before, we have two types of scheduling, preemptive and non-preemptive. Starvation in the sense here when the process is not getting the chance to be inside the CPU. This will be there when there is a deadlock in a system. So whereas here preemptive means there won't be there now in non-preemptive there won't be any interruption, whereas in preemptive scheduling will have some interruption. So here we have a formula for turnaround time and waiting time. So turnaround time formula is completion time minus arrival time, and waiting time formula is turnaround time minus burst time. So here we have some basic six types of CPU scheduling algorithm: FCFS, shortest job first, round robin, priority, multi-level queue, multi-level feedback queue. First to come, first to served in the sense in what order the process arrives, in the same order it will get executed. SJF means based on the shortest burst time, the process will get executed. RR follows a different fashion of scheduling, that is, it uses a time quantum to execute the process. Priority in priority scaling will be having every process will be assigned with some priority, based on that it will get executed. Multi-level queue scheduling, in each queue will follow some different fashion for the different scheduling algorithm for executing the process. Multi-level feedback queue scheduling, it will the queue will be assigned with some scheduling algorithm based on the behavior.